Good evening. This video I want to discuss an issue that I've been dealing with lately on YouTube and is constantly brought up about the King James Bible, that we're supposed to make the translation more contemporary. And this is the mantra that the defenders of New Age versions are always talking about. It has to be contemporary so the people can really understand it. The fact is that God has given us a Bible that is up to date and for every generation in perfect English, and we're supposed to learn its language. And if you want an example of how contemporary language is destroying English and its true meanings, go to James 2:3 and see the word gay in there, and you'll find out that which the meaning in English in the Webster's 1828 defined as being happy or flamboyant or fine, and that type of meaning. But all the modern versions remove that word, including the King James 21 and King James 2000. You won't find the word gay in any modern translations. They're contemporary. So what they've done is they've allowed the homosexuals to steal a word, and it no longer means the word what it meant originally in English. That's what you get with contemporary language. You get a diluting of the word. In the Old Testament, the word seer was archaic, and it was the word prophet was more of a contemporary meaning. But that word seer was still being used in the book of Amos. It was first talked about in 1 Samuel, and hundreds of years later, it's still being used in the book of Amos. God keeps archaic words. He keeps them for a reason, so you know their real meanings, that they're not distorted and twisted and destroyed by contemporary English. The King James Bible was translated at the peak, at the height of the English language, and the words in the King James Bible were meant to be preserved, to preserve the true meanings of those English words. Anybody can read. Anybody with a 6th grade education can read the King James Bible. The problem isn't it's too difficult. The problem is people are too lazy. They don't read it. They don't want to read it. And they've constantly fed this propaganda by defenders of the modern versions that it's too hard to read. What they want is a USA Today version where they can just skim it. And that's why you're getting all these heresies that are popping up about salvation, eternal security, dispensationalism, the mysteries. There's no depth of learning because there's no depth of reading. And the average American isn't reading his Bible, isn't reading any Bible. So the fact is that when you hear this constant idea that we have to have an up-to-date version for contemporary English, that's why hundreds of translations have been made since the 19th century, and none of them stick. But all of them, every 20 years, you get a new one out. Of course, now we get the gender-neutral ones out. So this is what happens when you try to mess with the King James Bible. What you get is a dilution, a corruption, and the modern versions are from a corrupt text and are in a corrupted English. The English we have today is not as good as the English of Shakespeare in the 18th century, and by the way, and 17th century. By the way, the fact is that the King James Bible isn't written in 17th century English. If you read the translator's English and the Puritan writings in another period, that language is far stiffer than the King James Bible English. The King James Bible is a perfect translation of the Greek and Hebrew, and was meant for all generations to read. But you have to read it. You have to read it and believe it. And the fact is that the English of the King James Bible is the new received text from the Hebrew and the Greek, and that you're not gonna improve on it. So all these guys crying out there about we need contemporary English. We can't understand the King James Bible. We can't understand it. You don't understand it because you don't read it, and if you read it, you don't believe it. Amen. Thank you.